chat feature unless you're not hearing me. Okay, then that'd be the only way to communicate with me. So I don't like to stop, read a question and everything. So again, would really appreciate it. If you do have a question, click on the little hand raise button there on the software, or just do a *6 on the phone and jump right on in. Love the questions. If you're thinking of a question, I can almost guarantee that somebody else is as well, and just want to make sure that that everybody's clear. Okay, what's going on right now, as a side note, is the Camp event up there in Seattle, Washington. We've got some pictures that were posted on Twitter. I'll share those in a little bit when I talk about base camp there at the end. But exciting times going on. If you look on screen now, you're going to see that little checkerboard thing there on the left. That's a QR code. For those of you who don't know what that is, on your cell phone, there's free apps out there. If you just search the Google Play Store, or if you're on an iPhone, you can search the App Store and just search for QR code reader, and there's free. It's free. That's free. Don't okay, but it's a way to you could actually scan that on screen, and in this case, that's kind of, if you want to learn more about me and a little bit of background, my lifestyle out here in the Las Vegas area, you can do that. But I'm using these more and more. For those of you who tuned into the opportunity presentation last Thursday, you would have seen throughout providing people with the ability to get more in-depth information if they need more clarification on the product and technology, etc. It's very helpful, and it keeps the presentation concise and not as time-consuming. Okay, let's go ahead, jump right into it. And let me first talk about the first step. If you're a brand new associate, congratulations, welcome. Now I know I can see here some of the attendees are people who have been with us, associates who retune into this training just to sharpen their skills and get dates, because I do provide updated information, and I plug it in here. But if you are brand new, again, this is for the very first step in our initiative. We have something called 3-minute peak, spelled just like you see on screen. It's kind of a play on words because it could also be PIQUE, as we'll see here in a minute. Now, when you go to this website, you're going to see it's going to give you a list of all the features, and then you click on Get Your Site on that green button, and you'll be able to sign up for it. The first month's free, so you can go through all the training, etc. If you decide to continue the platform, which I'm sure you will, I think 99% of people do, because it allows you to manage your prospects, send your prospects information, follow up with them, know if they've watched information, know if they've downloaded your information. So it's an extremely powerful platform. As a matter of fact, the new version of it has been adopted by ASEA Corporate, and we're in the process of implementing it now. So you can get a jump start, and you can take advantage of these great prospecting and follow-up features immediately today. So if you do continue it, it's $9.95 a month. So again, it's extremely affordable. But I think, again, you'll find out just using it for a month, the results that will help you generate are phenomenal. Okay, now, after you get your account, you'll sign up. The first thing you're going to do is training. There are 10 modules of training here, okay? And in the main body window, the very first video you're going to see is a what you're going to learn video clip. We'll give you an overview, and then it's going to tell you how to do what you just learned here on the right. Notice it says step 1 on the right there, how to, and then there's a welcome orientation workbook worksheet that I encourage you to download and print out, and you can sort of build this workbook as you're going along learning how to build your business. You're going to hear from not only some corporate executives like founder Tyler Norton there, but you're going to hear mainly from field leadership and people who have already done it, who have already built incomes into the 5 figures a month and beyond here with ASEA. So again, you definitely want to get back in here and go through all the lessons. Don't skip them. If you need to review something, you can always go backwards. You cannot jump forward, though, to a lesson that you haven't already got to yet. Okay, so it's designed so that you get the information in the proper flow, so that you're retaining and learning and able to take action on it. Now, again, it's categorized in the mindset, skill set, and will set. The skill set is where the meat and potatoes are, where you're going to learn how to use that prospect manager, was also known here, the recruit tab, where you're putting in your contacts and then sending them a little 3-minute peak video clip, and then following up with them, going through it. Okay, so let's talk about this prospecting overview. How do you identify the prospect in the first place? Well, let me first make a clarification. There is a difference between a suspect and a prospect. Okay, everyone's kind of a suspect at first, right? But it's okay. Not everyone's going to be a prospect. But I will tell you that if you start to have good conversations with people and really get engaged with them, be a good listener, you're going to see that the majority of people out there will be a prospect. Okay, but again, the key thing is you need to be a good listener. I think it was Brian Tracy or Zig Ziglar said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. The late, great Stephen Covey, author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, put it this way in his 5th habit. He said, seek first to understand and then to be understood. These are probably the greatest words of wisdom in history. And this is one of the reasons people don't like, I don't know how to better put it, like slimy type salesmen, right? And a lot of people don't want to be a salesman at all because their perception is just someone who's going to come over and dump on them and try to pressure them into buying something that whether or not they want or need, that they're just trying to manipulate them to make a transaction. Okay, that's why people have a bad feeling. Now, if you've got a good feeling or you know somebody in sales and you're like, wow, I'd love to buy whatever that guy's selling, maybe truly you feel cares about you and is going to do something for your best interest, not for their best interest. Okay, a very fundamental difference. And how do you do that? And how do you become a person like that? You listen to someone, okay? You have a great conversation. You be a good human being first, and you'll find there's a lot less drama, a lot less stress in your life, okay? Now, in your conversation with someone, okay, these questions are what I like to find out to determine if someone is a prospect, okay, for the ASEA business model. Now, notice none of these questions have, like, do they have cancer or do you, have some crazy skin condition? I mean, and granted, we always want to help those people. That's fine, okay? But this is where I like to, identify. I'm building a business here. We're talking, and the focus of this training is on how to build an ASEA business. And again, I just find out that a lot of people think we're in the sick care business, and all they're doing is having a conversation regarding people's health. And again, that's always going to potentially come up, but where I like to keep my focus on first is determining someone who has a potential to build a successful business. If I was going to go out and sell you, for example, a McDonald's franchise and identify you as a McDonald's franchise owner, do I really care about the quality of the hamburger? Hey, is that going to be the majority of my discussion? No, I'm going to talk to you about the business elements, about hiring and firing employees, about looking for the proper location, how do you maintain equipment, how do you reorder paper supplies, blah, 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 right? I'm not sitting there going, oh, these patties, aren't these the best burgers and all that. Here's the ingredients. We've got about 1.5% cow in this hamburger and 40% plastic. No, I'm not going there, right? So basically, and in the distribution network model, it always amazes me. Is people like, are you trying to be a door-to-door salesman of ASEA, or are you trying to build a successful, duplicable network marketing business? Okay? So if it's the latter, as I'm going through my conversation, and by the way, guys, this is a human conversation, right? When you're talking to someone, don't you generally ask them what they do? Like, hey, what's your name? Jim? Hey, Jim, how's it going? My name's Paul. Hey, Jim, what do you do around here? I'm going to get the answer to that first question, right? Oh, well, I work down there at the UPS. Oh, how do you like that? Is that pretty cool? Right? Oh, no, I hate it, man. It sucks. There's the only thing I can find available for work. I get that a lot. I mean, you guys will know what I'm talking about, right? Now, sometimes some people will say, yeah, I love it, totally love my job. But it's not really the norm. We already know from a Gallup study in the United States, over 70% of people in our country do not like what they do. Okay, I think that's kind of conservative, but the studies found that 7 out of 10 people do not like what they do for a living. So the next thing is, do you earn enough income? So whether they like what they do or not, okay, like for example, I know some legitimate school teachers just love kids and they love what they do. Very passionate about it. That's great. But they don't earn a lot of income, right? They got too much month at the end of the money, okay? And a lot of people, sometimes sacrifice income for what they enjoy doing. So how do you really can't ask someone, do you make a lot of money, right? That's kind of an awkward personal question. But I would jokingly say something like this. You may want to write this down. I'll say, wow, they must pay you a fortune to do that. Now think about that. Whether they like what they do or whether they don't like what they do. That's a valid statement, right? Wow, they must pay you a fortune to do that. If you're doing something you don't like to do, Assumption would be, you must make a lot of money, right? Or if you do something you really enjoy, well, it's because it's paying you a lot of money. I mean, so you could just say that and just listen for their response. What do you think most people say? Yeah, right. Barely put food on the table, or I wish I was making what I think I'm worth, or what do you think, I own the company? No. Yeah, right. Okay, so now you're just make a mental note. Then I like to find out what people do for fun, right? So what do you do for fun then, Jim? For fun? What do you mean? You like to play golf? Do you like to snowboard? Do you get out to the beach or travel? What do you do? Oh man, I haven't played golf in years. I wish I could. I just don't have any time. I come home, I'm wiped out. I spend a little bit of time with the kids, and I crash. Get up and do it all over again. Very common, right? So again, that's finding out, if someone has enough time to enjoy life and have recreation. I find that days are getting longer and longer, and people are having to do more and more, and are getting less and less. So it just seems like that's very common out there. Now, finally, are you happy with your retirement date? So I would say something like, so when are you be able to retire? You're getting pretty close, or that's a funny question if someone's like 32 years old, but I ask it anyway, and they look at me like I'm crazy. But I'm like, so how long are you going to do that for? And most people have no idea when the date is that they're going to retire. They're just going to keep doing, got their blinders on. They're going to put their head down and keep doing it, and they get laid off, downsized, right-sized, capsized, all that fun stuff. And they got to go look for another job. And at age 65, here's what we know. At age 65, you may want to write this down. 95 people out of 100 are either dead or dead broke. They have to continue to work just to make ends meet. They can't just stop working and live the golden years and ride off into the sunset, the proverbial ride. And it's so funny to me because that's what everyone's expectation is. And yet only 5 people out of 100 can do that because they're just working the wrong model. Okay? So basically, now that I know that, okay, this person doesn't like what they do, they don't make enough money, they don't have enough free time, they're not having enough fun, and they have no idea when they'll be able to stop working and have passive residual income coming in, right? And they've already told me all this, so I say, well, Jim, based on what you shared with me, would you be open to other ways of generating income? What do you think Jim's going to say at that point? No, I don't. No, he just told you everything. It's this whole situation that signaled, yes, help, please, throw me a little life donut, right? And then you throw it to him, he's going to say, no, I don't want it. Okay. Now, granted, there are people that are going to be skeptical, and that's fine. They may say something like, well, what are you talking about? Or what is it? Doesn't really matter what they say, as long as they say no. Don't say no, which very, very rarely happens. If they say no, say good, great, thanks. Have a great day. Keep enjoy what you're doing. but if they say, well, what is it? You say, look, and you're going to go here to step 2. You're going to be busy. What does that mean? Say, well, Jim, I got to get. This is how you would respond when he asks, what is it? What are you talking about? Jim, I got to go. I got to another appointment. But let me get your email address, and I'm going to shoot you over a little 3-minute video clip. Okay, that'll give you an overview to see if it's something you're qualified for. Okay, you may want to write that down. Okay, Jim, I got to get going here. I got another appointment to get to, and plus I'll be able to do it justice anyway. Let me send you a little 3-minute video clip. I'll give you an overview to see if this is something you're qualified for. Okay, what's your email? Get their email. Then you say, look, Jim, when will you be able to watch it? I've got a slot this afternoon, maybe in about 3 hours. Would you have been able to watch a 3-minute video clip by then? You may say, oh, no, I'm not even going to be home. I'll be on my computer. I got to take my kids to the game. Okay, how about tomorrow? This time tomorrow? Great. Very, very important. You set that follow-up date and time specific. Okay? Because that way, there's a lot more likelihood they're going to open your email and actually watch the 3-minute clip. If you don't set that time, they'll just, when you call them, they're probably, the chances they watch it are just nil because they're going to let something else distract them and life just shows up and there's no really sense of urgency. But when they see that email, they glance and go, oh, that's the thing Paul's going to call me on in the morning. I better watch that. Let me just watch it now. Okay? We follow up with them. Monitor the progress in the back office of 3-minute peak. Okay? Now, when you follow up with them, if they say, Paul, this is amazing. This is, something, because they may have actually went through the rest of the process and watched the presentation video. They may have watched a rebroadcast of an opportunity webinar, whatever. Okay, if they're ready to go, you send them to the next step. Is called the Start Right video clip, which is about 5 minutes, and it explains the different packages on how to get started. Okay, to them. Now we do have Renew 28 now, and the video is not yet updated because we're doing this whole migration to this new platform. But basically, you can explain that if they get the multi-packs, like the 4-pack or the 8-pack, and the video will do this, and it will explain that it's a one-time discount. In the case of ASEA, it's like buying 3 cases and getting 1 case for free. So they want to take advantage of either 4 or the 8 case, because if they don't, then it's not available later on to them. Okay, so that's what that video does a great job at doing, so you don't have to do any of the quote-unquote selling, if you will. Okay, the video educates them, and they make their own decision. Now, if they're not ready to get started yet, make sure you 3-way call with your upline. You want to do that anyway. I mean, even if they come aboard, welcome them, have your upline, welcome them to the team, etc. Now they feel they're part of a community, and that and people are looking out for them. Right? They're in business for themselves, but not by themselves. Very key. Yeah. And the 3-way call, guys, I can't stress enough. If I see someone, their business is not growing, I already know this is someone I'm not doing 3-way phone calls with. They're not calling me and going, hey, Paul, I got this guy. You got to meet this guy. This is Jimmy's on the line. I was telling him how excited I am about ASEA and it's Renew 28. And Jim's real interested. Jim, hey, this is Paul. Man, Paul's, one of the triple time. So they're going to, edify, and they're excited to hear it from someone who's a subject matter expert, someone who's already created success. Take advantage of that. Now, once you create that little bonding triangle there, so it's your credibility and influence, and it's your upline's knowledge, track record of success that will make your prospect feel comfortable and that they want to participate and join this exciting team. Okay? Again, if someone's not duplicating, they're not enrolling, it's because I know. I'm like, when was the last time you put me on the phone with somebody? Okay? Very, very simple. So do these 3. The more you do, the more you win. All right. Now, I mentioned Renew 28. So in our platform, again, because we're in a transition and the new media shoots are with Renew 28 are going to be put in the new platform that's being implemented by ASEA Corporate. We have a little bit of a Band-Aid fix in the meantime. We've uploaded the videos. As a matter of fact, we've uploaded the new Australian videos to the platform as well now. But let me show you where to find them. Okay, in 3-Minute Peak, there's a library tab, and you want to go to this new library beta section, and you're going to see that if you search on Renew, so there's a search box up here, you're going to see some pieces of media like the Renew 28 video clips, and there's documents down here. Okay, and here's what you do. Let's say you wanted to add this Renew 28-Paul video. That's a 1-minute sort of overview on Renew 28. You can just put your mouse pointer over the clip and click on Add to Send Queue. Okay, right there on that Add to Send Queue button, and it will add it to a queue. If you also want to include in that, let's say this brochure down here, the Renew 28 brochure, click on Add to Send Queue button when you hold your pointer over it, same thing, and then it will add it to the queue. Now, when you've selected the items that you want to send to your prospect, click on Show Send Queue. And now it's going to pull up all the items. If you selected other documents or the video, it's going to pull them all up, and then you can type in the person's email address. You can say, okay, here's the subject. I like to put my name if I've talked to someone. That way they go, oh, that's the stuff that Paul guy is sending. So in the subject, they'll see and recognize my name. This is from Paul Taira, the info I promised to send, right? When I was busy, right? So as the thing says, dear Jim, here's information for Renew 28, blah, blah, blah. Turn this to yes, where it says, would you like to show your contact info? And we'll see what that means here in a second. I click yes, and I click send. Boom, it goes out. Now, here's what the recipient sees, right? The subject from Paul Taira, the info I promised to send. They says, dear Jim, here's the info on Renew 28. I look forward to connecting with you at 5 p.m. to go over blah, blah, blah. And it says, click here to watch video. So that's what the link looks like. They click there, and boom, look at this beautiful little cinema that they get, right? It's going to run the first video. Then it'll run the next video. They could actually click on one of these documents and download it, the brochure, the usage guide as well, whatever you select, and add it to the queue. They'll be able to do that and watch it. Very, very powerful. Now, what's even more powerful, well, also look, remember when we clicked yes to put our information? So our information here from 3 Minute Peak is included in that. Okay. Now, even more powerful. Here's what happens. So on this prospects record, it'll tell you all the history. So here's when you sent the brochure, the usage guide, the videos, right? But watch this, okay? When they actually watch it, it will show like how much of the videos, when they watched it, how long they watched it for. So you have a really good idea by the time you're following up with this person on exactly the information that they received. All right? Now, here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to call them up and say, hey, man, I noticed you only watched 1 minute and 47 seconds of the video I sent. What's the matter with you? Okay, you don't want to do something like that. Okay, or even it's something anywhere in that ballpark. What you could do if you like notice they only watch like half of something, you can say, oh, hey Jim, hey, I noticed that that you got through about halfway of the video and you maybe got stuck or something, and I was wondering if there's was there any questions that you might have came up? And what you're going to find out 9 times out of 10, they'll be, oh no, man, I'm so sorry, I had to leave, and I got a phone call and I had to pick up the kids from school, and I'm glad you reminded me. I got to go back and watch the rest of that. Okay, that's what's going to happen the majority of the time. Okay, but sometimes people are like, well, how did you know that? I'll say like, well, that's part of the marketing platform. This is how we teach people how to build a business right from home. Okay, and it's one of the great features and benefits of our organization that I'm connected with is that we can actually send out video clips, know where people are at, so we can help walk them and move them along through the process. Does that sound cool or what? Oh yeah, I got to see that. Okay, so again, it's a selling point. That's how and the whole system and the duplication process is the selling point, not the product itself, guys. And again, I realize you're going to get phenomenal results and benefits from ASEA, from Renew 28, but when you're talking to someone who's in business or who wants to be in business, the ability to duplicate and the ability to track and set goals and follow, that's what's going to generate you results financially. Okay, so this is more important. If you're looking here not just to be healthier, but to be wealthier, this is where your focus should be. All right, so here are the video clips in the order that we recommend sending out to people. Okay, I like to send them the first. If someone's really excited about the Renew 28 and they want to learn more, the first thing would be the Renew 28 video clip and the brochure. So that would be a first swing if you're just going to try to pique someone's interest. And then the second thing would be the usage guide and the Renew 28 corporate video. Okay, and then the third thing, we have a new Renew 28 video that one of the associates produced. It's about 8 minutes with a lot of before and after pictures, and it kind of ties in at the end how ASEA and Renew 28 are affiliated. So again, if someone got excited because they went to a Renew party and they loved the Renew product, this is a way you can send to explain to them before you put them through the opportunity process. Okay, we do have this method. Now I want to also point out, like I mentioned before, all the Australian video clips have been uploaded to 3 Minute Peak. So you could, even if you wanted to follow up or just sort of drip on someone a different testimonial each, every 3 or 4 days, just to keep in touch with them, and it gives them a good sense of comfort that it's real, that people are getting the real results. You can do that as well. Okay. All right. Now, once again, everybody, if you have any questions, I encourage you to just do a *6 on your phone, or you can click on the little hand raise button on the GoToWebinar software, and I'll be able to see your hand raise and call on you. Again, I don't like to use the typing chat feature, so if you're typing a question, I've got to stop what I'm doing and reading it. So again, just jump right on in. Love to keep it interactive and hear your bright, smiling voices out there. Okay, describing ASEA when you can't be busy. Remember that ideally, if I'm talking with someone and I pique their interest, I find out, in a conversation that, hey, this is someone who doesn't like what they're doing, they earn enough income, or they're not, would like to have more free time. Boom. I just get their email address and away I go, and I start them putting it through the 3 Minute Peak process. However, what if you're sitting on an airplane next to someone? Okay, and obviously we're going to be on this 3-hour flight. They're going to think something's fishy if you aren't, don't want to talk about your what you represent, right there. So here's the deal. I'm going to give the analogy of cell phones because this is really how ASEA an analogy of how ASEA is working in the body and the role it plays, the vital, crucial, fundamental roles it plays in the body. And most people have a cell phone. I don't know anybody nowadays that doesn't have a cell phone. I know a couple people that don't know how to use it very well, but most people have a cell phone, so they can relate to this, right? You ever been to an area where, or rather, when you go through and you drive through an area and there's a lot of cell phone towers, you get that coveted 5 bars of signal strength, right? And you're a very happy camper. You can hear the person that you're talking to loud and clear, and they can hear you, okay? But if you've ever been to an area where there's not cell phone towers, okay, you'll get that 1 bar of signal strength, let's say, and what happens? Communications become very difficult. It's screaming in the phone as if the person will hear you better, right? The louder you talk. I think we've all tried to do that. And okay, it might sound funny, but if you're a police officer or if you're a fireman, not so funny, right? Because it could mean someone's safety is on the line. Could even be a life or death situation in those instances. That's kind of what's going on in your body, guys. So as you age, you're losing your body's ability to produce these cell phone towers, okay? And your cells, you're literally, quote unquote, cell phones that they use to communicate with, are not able to get clear signals the older that you get, and that's why cells don't regenerate as efficiently. That's why we get aches and pains. We feel tired faster than we should. We don't heal from injury like we used to when we were small children. Okay? Now, what if you are able to put back or build new cell phone towers in an area with the cell phone example? And you get those 5 bars of signal strength again, right? Back to being a happy camper. So where ASEA fits in, okay, is right here. ASEA is trillions and trillions of these little cell phone towers. When you put them in your body, you get your cells now get that clear channel of communication so that they can protect, repair, and replace themselves at optimal efficiency, right? Get rid of those bad guys and keep your cells as youthful as they can possibly be. All right. So again, it's so fundamental. And you can drink all the drinks you want, all the superfruit juices, and take the vitamins and minerals. But the bottom line is, if communications aren't going on, it's like screaming into that cell phone, right? Or it's like buying a new cell phone. If you don't have cell phone towers in your area, you're not talking to anybody, right? So the equivalent of taking some of these other nutritional supplements, in a lot of cases, is that people are buying new cell phones, but they haven't addressed the cell phone tower issue. Okay, and that's what ASEA does. All right. Now, to get a little bit of a information summary overview, there's the QR codes again on screen, or you can just type in renewoverview.com or reactivebalance.com. But if you like to have some fun and scan in a QR code, keep that locally on your phone. When you go to your QR code reader, it will generally keep the history of these things. You can have that to refer back and watch later. Okay. Achieving your goals, consistent time. Success really is about consistency, right? It's about doing the right thing and doing it over a long enough period of time. What is the right thing in our business? Quite simply this: talking to people. Talking to people. I mentioned about the 3-way phone calls. I know if someone's succeeding, if I've been a lot of 3-way phone calls with them or not, and then how are people even getting people to the point of 3-way phone calls? I go, where's your list? Okay, because if you set a goal of just 2 people a day, just 2 people a day, guys, think about that. You could walk around, down the street. I mean, unless you live on a farm, totally like 100 miles from civilization, right? Almost in any community, you could find 2 people a day and have that little conversation with them. How are you doing? Jim, what do you do around here? Super. How is that? Man, they must pay a fortune to do that. What do you do for fun, right? Have that conversation with 2 people a day. Have no agenda. You're not there to manipulate or have any kind of technique to get them signed. But lose that thought process. They will feel that. They will smell that. Just have a conversation. Okay, 2 people a day. In this process, you're going to get some of the people say, like, fired up when you go, would you be open to other ways of generating income? What do I got to do? How do I do it? Those are the guys you're looking for, okay? And they will pop up if you're having that conversation. Now, 2 people a day would equate to 60 people per month or 720 people per year. This is how I know if someone's creating success. I'll go, Jim, do you honestly feel you talked to 60 people this last month? Oh, 60 people, that's a lot of people. Man, I don't have time to do that. Wait a minute, you told me you talked to 2 people a day. That's what 2 people a day is. You agree that that was a reasonable and very doable amount. And, if you're not going to show me the paper where these 60 people are, then I can't help you create the success. That's part of the deal. Okay? So 720 people out of a year, even if only 5% of them signed up, that's 36 people that would have signed up. People that are using our 3-minute peak system, the way it's designed, okay, and sending out the correct videos, we're seeing 24% conversion rate. 1 out of 4 people almost will enroll. So can you imagine after 1 year enrolling between 36 to 172 people? You just have to do it consistently over time. I realize a lot of you out there have JOBs, right? You're at jobs, or you've got maybe you have kids, you maybe have a lot of commitments. But I'm telling you, just set the 2 people a day. But just the same thing I tell people who want to get into shape. Getting into shape is not about going to the gym and killing yourself, for 5 consecutive days and then never working out again. That's what most people do, by the way. Okay, I'd rather have someone not push. I mean, we're all taught to, get that extra rep. Oh no, you can do 2 more. Hey, relax. I'd rather have someone do 2 less extra reps, as long as they're doing something, right? And do something that you can do every day. Now, as you do it over time, you'll know when to start pushing yourself more. Okay, but leave a little gas in the tank, especially if you're just starting to work out, for example. Okay, and like here, if you say, Paul, I can talk to 10 people a day. Okay, well, don't burn yourself out. Let's just start with 2. And if you find out after the first month that was nothing, then let's add it to make it 3. Because look, it's a little bit behind. 3 people a day. That's over 1,000 in 1 year. Okay, that's 54 enrollments at 5% and 259 at 24%. Just adding 1 more person a day. And I'll tell you, look, can I do this where I just get the weekends off or I take a couple days a week off? Sure you can. Let's say you did 5 people a day, only 5 days a week. That's 1,200 people over 1 year, 60 people at 5%, 288 at 24%. Okay? So set your goals, but stick to the goal. Don't say 5 people a day if you're not going to do, if that's not going to be something you can sustain. Shoot it down to 3 or even 2. I don't recommend under 2, but I mean, heck, if you do under 2, just set the expectation beyond a year, right? Let's just say, okay, I'll do this over a few years, before I'm looking for my thousands of dollars of, a month in residual income. Okay, but at least 2, I think, is very realistic. Like we say, 2 a day keeps the job away. Okay, and be real with yourself. Are you talking to 2 people a day? Have you been talking? Some of you may have been in the business now for a number of weeks, months, maybe even a couple years. Can you really honestly say that you've talked to 2 people? Okay? Make the commitment, stick with it, and you'll generate the results. Now, here's an image that I burned in my head, and I encourage you to do the same. Now, and I encourage you to let it motivate you to overachieve on this to create bigger results in a shorter period of time. But let me explain. I don't think anybody on this webinar would say that out of everybody they know, that they couldn't find at least 2 people that would want to benefit from the health benefits of ASEA and Renew 28, as well as would like to earn more income. Okay? I don't think there's anybody out there who would say, Paul, out of everybody I know, yeah, I can find 2 people. Now, here's the thing. I think that everyone would feel that 30 days is a fair amount of time to find those. And if anybody doesn't, just do a *6 and unmute your line now and tell me, no, Paul, I don't think 2 people, that's totally unrealistic out of everybody I know. I can't find at least 2 to enroll. Okay, so good. We've got an agreement there. Okay. Now, here's the thing. No one's going to get a single customer in my example here. The only customer they're going to have is themselves using 1 case of ASEA each month, or 4 tubes of Renew, okay, whatever, but at least a case of ASEA or 4 tubes of Renew a month. Now next month, those 2 people that we enrolled this first month, they find their 2 people. So look at there, month 2, 4 people come into your group. And so if you add the original 2 that you signed up, that's a total of 6. In month 3, the 4 people that came in your second month find their 2, right, in their 30-day period. So 8 people come in, and you have a total now of 14. Now at month 3, if everyone was just drinking 1 case of ASEA for themselves or using one, going through 4 tubes of Renew, every month you would be generating $70 worth of commissions. Now here's the thing, and here's why a lot of people quit. They'd be like, Paul, I can't live on $70. I've been this for 3 months. I'm quitting. And then they've really, really lost big. They really don't get it. Because that $70, again, is based on something that's going to come in each and every month. It's residual income, month after month. And if you had to put money in the bank at 1% interest, for example, is probably what your bank might give you if you had to put money in there. How much money would you have to put in the bank to get $70 a month? At 1% interest, it would be $85,000. So now would it have made sense for you to work 3 months to generate the equivalent of putting $85,000 in the bank and receiving the monthly interest on it? I would venture to say yes. Okay? Did you make the equivalent of 85 grand putting in the bank at your job over the last 3 months? I would venture to say no. Okay? So we push down to month 6. Look at this. 64 people come into your group. You now have over 100 total, generating you over $600 a month. Passive monthly residual income. This, guys, is a nice car payment. It's a mortgage payment in some parts of this country. It's life-changing. I know a ton of people that say, look, if you give me over $500 a month, it would make my life unbelievably better. It would help pay for certain things the kids need. It would allow us to go to the movies as a family, a couple times a month, do the outings, things that we enjoy doing. Very, very powerful. Month 9, 500 people come into your group. You have over 1,000 total. Now let me do a little review here. How many did you find? You only found 2. Everybody in this example only found 2. And they took the entire 30 days to find the 2 people. No one has a single customer. They're just using 1 case of ASEA for themselves. And after 9 months, you'd be generating over $5,000 a month. Guys, this is the expectation. And this is the conversation that you need to have with people so that they understand. This is definitely a realistic, something realistic and doable, but if they don't know about this, then their likelihood that they won't do it. They won't get this. They won't have this vision in their head of, look, get 2, get 3, get 5, get 10. Let's do it, because a lot of people are flakes, just like they are going to the gym and exercising and eating well. So let's realize the majority of people are flakes, but hey, if I can just get 2 over a course of time, even if this just took me 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, would it have still been worth my time? Let's look at what happens in this perfect example of just 1 year, within 1 year. You'd have over 8,000 people in just 1 year. No one found more than 2, generating you $40,000 a month in passive monthly residual income. Wow. Now, have I ever seen this happen in this perfect fashion? No. But that's not the point. It's really not. Okay? Because even if you fail this example 90% of this did not come to fruition, but you stuck to your guns and you went out and you just kept telling people, get 2, get your 2, get your 2, help them get 2, get their 2. If someone doesn't get their 2, replace them. Get someone else who gets their 2, get their 2, get their 2. And 90% of this did not come to fruition. That's still $4,000 a month of passive monthly residual income. Can you fail at your job 90% of the time and get 4 and still have $4,000 a month next year of walk-away income, retirement income? I don't think so. That's what the beauty is of our model, is that it allows that for those who go to work and work it. So like I said before too, don't just shoot for 2. Go shoot for 10, 20, 50. Accelerate this. Okay? Just knowing that, again, the majority of people aren't going to do anything. Even if they sign up, the majority of people are so distracted and will continue to do what's comfortable to them, what they've always know how to do, rather than educate themselves on what they should be doing so that they can create the lifestyle that they want. Okay? But again, the great news, failing 90%, you're still doing extremely well. Now, Albert Gray said, the secret of success of every person who has ever been successful lies in the fact that they form the habit of doing things others don't like to do. Okay. All right, little commercial break here. ASEAStore.com is going to give you prints, things like brochures, CDs, DVDs, books, banners, business cards. These are some of the common questions I get. Go to ASEAStore.com. They'll help you out there. This is our product usage guide. However, we got a new one at teamreactive.com I would encourage you to take advantage of, giving credit to Triple Diamond Executive Terry Malmed and Platinum Executive Dr. Pilar Labriola and their significant others there for creating this, creating the one we have at Team Reactive. It's going to address a couple more issues. You can download that for free and print that out, teamreactive.com. This actual usage guide is what's included in every case of ASEA. So whichever one you're going to use, just make sure the person that you're getting ASEA to, whether a customer or an associate, make sure that they're following a usage guide and taking the product properly and maximizing the results. Okay, the recommended tools on ASEAStore.com are a DVD called ASEA. Okay, now Meet ASEA has all the other videos on it. You've got the product opportunity videos, you've got the quick draw videos, you've got the Genesis video, so all of them are on this one DVD. It's going to cost you a whopping, I think, less than $2. Okay, you buy them in blocks of, I think, 10 at least, but you want to carry this around, especially if you're going to be live somewhere at an event where you may not be able to put your broadcast your computer or something, but most people nowadays have a DVD player, and you can plug this in, and it'll do the heavy lifting for you. Product brochure. Product brochure here, Science of ASEA, great references to medical professionals and actual studies done on ASEA. So it really validates the technology, so you don't have to be a mitochondrial expert yourself. Okay, and to be honest, people that are in a looking to generate income from the business model, they're just going to look at this and go, okay, cool. Most people, or a lot of these people are way smarter than me. They're doctors or scientists. Okay, that's all I need to know. It's been validated, and they're good, right? Okay, so again, that's what this brochure allows, validation. Now, if you're going to be talking to medical professionals themselves, like doctors and scientists, okay, don't talk to them about the technology. It's not going to be good, okay, unless you're a doctor, okay, because they're not going to find you credible, right? And that's understandable. It's understandable. So we have tools that will do that for you. So we've got a doctor's CD where you're going to hear from doctors of all different types of modalities, from MDs to PhDs, scientists to board-certified naturopathic doctor, okay, talking about the wonderful results that ASEA has generated in their practices and in the lab. And then we have the Science of Healing Revealed book. That's by Dr. Gary L. Samuelson, our atomic medical physicist. And then the Science of Healing Revealed CD. We also have a book called Redox Life. Now, you're going to want to jot those pages down there, 206 and 217. 206 talks about different types of health conditions and the role that redox plays in them. And by the way, we are not claiming ASEA is curing, treating, or preventing any of those conditions, okay? But it gives people an understanding on how redox signaling helps the mechanism for the body to heal itself. Okay? So when we help elevate the levels of these redox molecules, then again, what in essence we're doing is helping the body and giving the body the best environment so that it can help heal itself. Now, page 217 talks about various clinical studies done on different organs and systems of the body that involve redox. And this book is phenomenal. It's 534 pages. No, I have not read it, but it's just a great reference point. Just to use page 206 and 217, as a doctor or a scientist looks into this, they start to become real fascinated and excited to know that this is a real science. There's 1,500 references to published medical papers and journals in here, and also it references 150 Nobel Prize winning laureates, again, to further validate the legitimacy and the power of this body of science. or field of science, if you will. Okay, IamASEA.com. You know, we always say facts tell, but stories sell. And this, with regards to building a business and people feeling that level of comfort that they can do this, I'm going to encourage you to go see IamASEA.com. There's about 50 people or so here that qualified for a Caribbean cruise, wrong pronunciation. And you can hear where their backgrounds, where they came from school teachers or music teachers to construction workers to Team Reactive Zone here, Dr. Foster and Terry Malmed, you're seeing on screen, and you'll hear his background. But what we also refer to this as is social proof, right? It's basically saying, hey, if they can do it, I can do it, right? That might be that little extra oomph that someone needs to say, wow, I can relate to that person. I need to give this a shot, okay? So go to IamASEA, watch these video clips. You'll learn more and more about the success stories and the people behind ASEA. ASEA Impact showcases some of the top leadership, like some of our top diamond leaders, as well as our advisory council on screen right now. You're seeing Team Reactive Zone, Michael and Esperanza Stern. Michael's also one of the recipients of the IamASEA Award. And so go through here and find out, learn more about some of the top level leaders. And there's also information on the rewards and incentive trips, and we'll talk more about that toward the end. Another thing you want to be connected with is Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, where you live in the social media age nowadays. And so these are all the account names for ASEA Corporate's social media accounts. Okay, so write that down. Facebook is ASEA Corp, YouTube is ASEA Video, and Twitter is /ASEA. And I'll probably end up later putting QR codes for this as well. Okay, so we'll have some fun. All right. AutoShip, your only ASEA business. AutoShip's going to ensure you have enough product on hand for yourself. You need a product. It ensures you remain active so that you carry over volume. We'll talk about that here in just a second in our home stretch on the commission plan. Model. People are going to do what you do, not what you say. More accurately speaking, our people are not going to do something if you're not doing it. Okay? So in other words, let's say someone got to the final step when they're enrolling as an associate in ASEA, and they get to that part where it says, okay, select your auto ship. And they look at you and go, which auto ship do you get, Paul? And what if you were to say, well, I'm not on auto ship. Oh, but you need to sign. Why don't you sign up for that 4-tube of Renew Auto Ship? What do you think? What would they say? Okay, right? Yeah, right. Well, I'll do it later then too. Okay. So again, I mean, and this, guys, by the way, residual income, right? Everyone getting a case of ASEA or 4 tubes of Renew or whatever each and every month, that's what creates residual income. So it's a very fundamental part of establishing a successful business. And again, it's less than $5 a day. We're talking for a cost of a few dollars a day. A cup of coffee here. You get to run your whole business and all the information system, and all the customer service and shipping, receiving, all that stuff, and you get a free case of product with it. That's how I look at this. Okay, and it's all tax deductible, so it's really free anyway. So again, guys, if whatever your concern is should not be a concern for you having at least one case of auto ship and being in the business. Now, we have a free case promotion as well. So by staying on auto ship for 3 consecutive months, you're going to get a free case. We qualify for a free case of ASEA. This promotion has been extended to the end of September. So be sure to, every time you enroll a new associate, make sure they enroll for auto ship right then and there so that they're eligible for that free case of product after their 3rd month. Now, if you have not yet set up your auto ship, okay, we are not able, you won't be able to free promotion, but you will be able to take advantage of being active and all the other wonderful benefits. Log into your ASEA virtual office, go to My Business, and then go to Manage Auto Ship, okay? And when you're there, you're going to click on Create an Additional Auto Ship Order. Actually, it'll say just create an auto ship order, I believe, if you're going to start a new auto ship order, and that will let you set up your auto ship, okay? You can do it now at any point. All right, another resource site for you is our teamreactive.com website. Really the key here is click on Stay Informed in the upper right. There's a subscribe button. And we'll keep sending you reminders throughout the week on upcoming conference calls, webinars, trainings like the one you're currently on. Okay, and we also archive conference calls, and we have a calendar of events. Those are a couple of spots that you want to check in with as well if you're looking for that kind of information. And calls and webinars, let me explain to you what we have. Every Monday, we do the Leadership in Momentum call at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Now, I know it says leadership, but everyone here, every associate should consider themselves either a current leader or a leader in development. And so everyone should be on this call, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Tuesday, 8 a.m., we have what's called the TRM call, the Team Reactive Momentum call. It's also an acronym for Train, Recruit, and Manage. And so Tuesday is training day. Okay, be sure to tune into that with Triple Diamond Executive Terry Malmed. And then at 6 o'clock p.m. on Tuesday is the Vision Call. You can get more information at visioncall.info, where they will interview generally a health care professional, doctor, things of that, doctors, scientists, things of that nature. And that's 6 p.m. Pacific. Wednesday, 8 a.m. Pacific time is the TRM call, which is the Recruit Day call, and that is led by Diamond Executive Julianne Fike. So be sure to tune into that one. And at 6 p.m. we have the Connection Hangout. And you can go to connectionhangout.com for info on the week's guest. We have not posted this upcoming week's guest yet, but when we do, there's a Facebook event page is at connectionhangout.com. Thursday is the TRM call, the Manage call that's led by Triple Diamond Executive Michael Stern, as well as Platinum Executive Brett Brooks. Host that great call, 8 a.m. Pacific. Good morning there. And then 6 o'clock p.m. is a business opportunity webinar and that I do, and you can register at Thursday411.com. You can go to Thursday411 anytime, register. You'll get an email, and which will show you how to connect to that. And then, of course, Saturday is the 10 a.m. Pacific time Basics webinar training. That's currently the training you're currently on. And once again, be on teamreactive.com mailing list, because it's going to send you out reminders for all these events. And it's going to send your people out too. So if they're signing up for the mailing list, they're getting these reminders so that they're on them as well. Okay, got a home stretch here. I'm going to talk about the compensation plan, multiple streams of income. We're going to go over Fast Start, AAA bonus, and team commission so that you're clear. Like Zig Ziglar said, if you're anything, you're likely to hit it. So we want to make sure you've got a good, clear understanding on how you get paid. There's 4 ways to get paid, basically. There's the Fast Start bonus, your active immediate income. There's AAA bonus, which is the beginning of your monthly residual recurring income. The team bonus starts your wealth building and your retirement building income stream. And then check match is the full-on wealth building. There's unlimited earning potentials with check match. The stability income is going to be on the Fast Start and AAA bonus, up to $1,000, and even, could be potentially more for these a portion of the plan. And then the team bonus and check match, again, this is where the wealth is generated from, up to $40,000 a month from team bonus, and again, unlimited earning potential with check match. So let's first talk about the Start commission mechanism. Okay, whenever you enroll someone, okay, with an enrollment package, whether they do the 1 case, 2 case, 4 case, and 8 case, there's an immediate commission that you're going to receive. Now, if they just enroll with a $40 kit, there's no commission. Okay, but if they move product, if they purchase product, you will receive $20 per enrollment case. So if they do the 2 case, you get 40. If they do the 4 case, you get 80. The 8 case, 160. For my example here, I'm going to use the 4 case enrollment package. This is our most popular enrollment package. This is one that the majority of people will purchase when they enroll because of the cost savings, right? It's the lowest break where you get that cost savings break. It's kind of like buying 3, getting 1 case for free. So this is you. And if you enrolled Ann and Ann got her 4 case enrollment package, you would make $20 per case. So that's 20 times 4, which is $80. That's your Fast Start bonus. Okay, when Ann goes out, let's say she signs up Jim. Ann receives 80, you receive 40. Okay, it's paid through multiple tiers or multiple levels. If Jim goes out and enrolls Dan, then Jim gets the 80, Ann gets the 40, you get the 20. Okay, that's where it'll stop. It's paid out through 3 levels. Now, what if Ann, though, is inactive, meaning that Ann has not purchased at least 100 PV. So, for example, 1 case of ASEA or 4 tubes of Renew within the last 30 days. If she has not did that, then Ann would be considered inactive, and she would not get the $40. What would happen is you would get the $40, and your sponsor, as long as they're active, would get the $20. So it just shifts up. And this is a great thing about ASEA, and because of their principles and ethics, other companies would keep that money because they would figure no one really knows a compensation plan anyway, and they would keep it. But ASEA pays everything out to the first eligible or qualified person in the upline. Okay? They're out to make sure that they compensate people with as much commissions as possible. Okay, so that's your immediate income. So and by the way, there's no limit on the number of people you can enroll. So if you're enrolling like 5 people, 10 people, and you got all these $80 commissions, you're going to get that. And you're going to get that next week, by the way. We pay every single week. So whatever you earn by midnight Eastern time on Friday, those commissions get deposited into your account the following Thursday. Okay? Now next is the full A bonus part of the program. And this is designed to get you an additional $750 a month up to. Okay? So at this point, if you were qualified for the $750 worth of bonuses, you'd probably be at least $1,000 a month in residual monthly income. Okay? So let's talk about the first bonus here, which will get you that $100 a month bonus. It's called L1, level 1. It requires that you are on auto ship with a minimum of 100 PV. So again, a minimum of a case of ASEA or 4 tubes of Renew. 28. You have 4 personally sponsored associates on auto ship, and they have a minimum of 100 PV. And you have a minimum of 600 auto ship volume on your first level. Okay, so what does this entail? Both associate auto ship volume and preferred customer auto ship volume. Okay, so both of those, as long as there's a total of 600 on your first level, you are L1 qualified. Now, where does volume come from? Well, like I mentioned, a case of ASEA or 4 tubes of Renew generate 100 PV. If they're a preferred customer, though, it's only 50 PV. And the reason for that is because the enroller of that preferred customer is going to get $25 a month every month that they stay on auto ship. Okay? And because of that, it has to reduce the PV down to just 50. All right, so this is you. You're on your 100 auto ship. And if you have 4 associates and they're just on their 100 auto ship, okay, then you would have met, first off, your 100 auto, your 4 personal associates you personally enrolled with at least 100 auto ship requirement. Okay, but now we've got to look at making the 600 front level auto ship volume. And one way you could do it is, let's say this person here added 4 tubes of Renew 28 to their auto ship, and this person over here added 4 tubes of Renew 28 to their auto ship. Then we would now have met a total of 600 front auto ship volume. Okay, that's one way. Let's take a look at another scenario. This is you, and let's say you have your 4 enrollments. Let's just say they added 1 tube of Renew 28 to their auto ship. By the way, that's the only way you can get 1 tube of Renew 28 is if you add it to an existing auto ship order for ASEA, 1 case of ASEA. Okay, if you have this, you've got your 100, you've got 4 personals, at least 100. In this case, you'd still be short a little bit of volume. So if you had 4 personal customers that were each buying 2 tubes of Renew 8, okay, then you would meet your 600 auto ship volume requirement as well. Now, we'll tell you, you're also going to not just get the 100, you're going to be getting the personal commission bonus, okay, from these auto ship orders as well. So if you had 4 personals that were each doing 2 tubes, okay, then you would have 8 tubes total. So you'd be getting an additional about 100 as well, just from your personal customers. Okay, I'm sorry, $50. You'd be getting an additional $50 just from the personal customer acquisition bonus each and every month. All right? So it's another incentive for you to get personal customers. Again, you may run into somebody who's happy with what they do, making a lot of income. You can say, good, just great, but you should, I want to keep you looking young. And they just sign up as a personal customer, and you get that personal customer bonus every single month after month. okay, and you're saving them money overpaying retail. Okay, now let's take a look at you signing up. These 4 associates, one of them is on a case of ASEA, one of them has 4 tubes of Renew. Actually, 2 of them have 4 tubes of Renew, and 2 of them have 1 case of ASEA. What we really encourage you to do is to have spares. So get a couple extra folks. In this case, someone has 4 tubes of Renew, and another person has 1 case of ASEA auto ship. And in this scenario, you've met all 3 of your requirements right out of the gate. Okay, so build those spares. Get those spares. You'll get the volume you need. And I would venture to say try to sign up 8, 10, 20. The more the merrier, right? And the more the wealthier you become. Okay. So L2 bonus is when you help 2 of your 4 personal enrollments do exactly what you just did, become L1 qualified. When that happens, every month you're going to get an additional $250 a month. So they're getting the 100 and you're getting an additional $250. So now that's a total of $350. So if you add the other commissions from the other parts of the plan, you're now probably at least about $500 a month in passive monthly residual income. How long would this take you to do, right? Find 4, get your 600 total of frontline PV, and help two of those 4 do the same thing. How long? Could you do this in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months? Would it be worth it for you to be able to have a $500 car payment taken care of each and every month? I would venture to say yes. Now, let's take a look at if that duplicated one more time. So help those 2 people who got their 4 and became L1 qualified, help them find 2 of their people, and now you are going to be at an additional $400 a month. That's a total of $750 in passive income just from the bonus, the AAA bonus part of the plan. So chances are you're going to be doing at least $1,000 a month. I'd be shocked if you weren't making at least $1,500 a month. I don't know anyone not doing at least that if they're L3 qualified. Okay, but conservatively, you should be at least looking at $1,000 a month. All right. So how do you get beyond $1,000 a month? Well, like Zig Ziglar said, help enough people get what they want in life, and you will get what you want. So help other people get their $1,000 a month, right? So kind of to recap, just like we just shared, if you help 2 people get to L1, you are L2. If you help 2 people get to L2, then you're L3. Very simple. Do something, help others do it, and you reap the financial rewards for that. Now again, as you're helping more and more people become L3, you can see that this can grow extremely significantly. Okay, let's take a look now at team bonus and see how this volume is affecting the other parts of the commission plan. Okay, so let's say Dan, and Dan personally enrolls his first person, Tina. Tina's not only frontline on the AAA structure, but Tina is also in the team structure as well. So you have a position in multiple compensation plans at the same time. And so you're earning on different parts of the program at the same time. Okay, I'll talk about how the team commissions are calculated here in just a second. But if Dan also sponsors Matt and Debbie and Teresa, okay, they're getting put in the team commission part of the plan. Now, the team part of the plan is also known as a binary compensation mechanism in our industry, meaning binary means 2. Everyone can only have a maximum of 2 people directly beneath them. So once someone has 2, if they sign up a third person, they have to place them underneath somebody who doesn't yet have their 2 people. So that's why we have Tina, Matt, and then Debbie and Teresa underneath Tina and Matt. Okay? The goal is to keep this as balanced as possible, so to have the same amount on the one side as you do on the other with regards to volume. So again, if these folks were just on auto ship each month doing 100 PV, okay, and it was balanced like this, you get 5% of the total there. 5% of 400 would be $20. And that's why if you add the 20 to the 100 that you'd be getting on the AAA bonus part of the plan, you'd now be at about $120, which should be paying for your product each and every month. So again, I like when people say, Paul, how can I just get the product for free? I go, well, help 4 people, at least 4 people get started and have 600 of volume on your front level of auto ship volume, and boom, you should be getting your product for free each and every month. So if with as few as 4 people, you could do it. Now, when those people start to duplicate, okay, you'll see it's adding more and more volume. In this case, just at L2, adding that additional $60 of volume. And when you add that to the 350, you'd be at 410. And again, in this case, there's probably a lot more activity and other people signing up more and duplication and fast start bonuses. So again, you should be around $500 a month at this stage of the game. So we talk about the team commissions and growth here, okay? Let's say you here is an L3 with all the people that require to get you to L3. You probably have $2,500 on the other side. How you get paid is it's very easy to calculate it. Okay, I showed you on the previous screen if everything was perfectly balanced, you'd get 5% of everything, right? But that doesn't typically happen. In this case, there's 3,000 on one side and 2,500 on the other. You can calculate it very easily by just taking 10% of the lesser amount. So 10% of 2,500 would be $250. So if you added the well, let me clarify what goes on here. So next week you will start the right team here with 0, and the left team will start with 500. Okay, because there was a $500 difference between 3,000 and 2,500. So it's going to incentivize you to work with that right team next month, or next week rather, and try to catch the left team. And you just want to go back and forth, okay, helping whatever side's weaker for that week, okay, to keep this as balanced as possible. Because that's going to yield you the most amount of commissions as possible. Now, if you added the 250 to the 750 L3 bonus, this is where we get that $1,000 a month figure minimum, right? Okay. And you can earn up to $10,000 a week, which equates to $40,000 a month just on this one part of the commission plan alone. Now, let's talk about getting to $2,000 a month. If you help 2 people on your right team and 2 people on your left team earn the L3 bonus, okay, do what you did. You should have about 10,000 of volume going on each side of your group, and you should easily be qualified as a bronze executive. Now, 10% of 10,000 is an additional 1,000, so you add the L3 bonus 1,000, you're at least at 2,000. I'd be shocked if you weren't even at least 3,000, okay, with all the other volume where you're overriding from, and the fact that if people are doing L3s, they're not just doing the minimum, they probably have a lot of spares, a lot of extra volume activity. And again, I think this number here is very conservative, okay, for a bronze executive. Now, $4,000 a month, okay, basically helps someone go bronze on your left and on your right. And at this point, you'd be a gold executive, okay? You should be a gold executive. There's a couple other requirements, but it should be pretty much a no-brainer at this point to be gold. And at gold, your $4,000 to $5,000 a month is very conservative, okay? I know a gold who's done over 10,000 a month. I mean, that's normal, okay? But just depends on the people in your group and how many leaders you have and people that are actually engaged and working and enrolling people. You know, this could be 5-figure a month, you know, income. But typically what happens is you'd be promoted to platinum at that stage of the game, okay? So gold is good, $4,000 to $5,000. And this is around the stage when most people would decide to go full-time, okay, because they can replace at least one income check. With that, some people, this is their whole monthly income, okay, for their whole household. But $4,000 to $5,000 a month is you know, generally when people will take one person in their home and go full time with this. Because like as the proverbial saying goes, if you can bake a dozen cookies, you can bake 1,000 dozen cookies. All right. Now you're also able to check match 10 to 20, more like 10 to 15%, probably in that range, on every associate's check in your organization up to 7 generations. What is a generation? Well, it goes all the way down to someone who's reached the level of bronze executive or higher. It actually includes that bronze check, okay? You're going to match. Imagine if they earn this week $1,000 on their team commissions. Imagine you getting $100 to $150 added to your own check for that week. How many people can you help go to bronze? How many people can you help get their check up? Okay, again, just like Zig says, the more people you help, the more successful you become. And that's what I really love about this model, guys, is in order for you to get ahead, okay, or become number 1, you don't have to step on number 2. Matter of fact, in order for you to get to number 1, you have to help number 2 to become their own number 1. I think it's just so, it makes so much more sense. And wouldn't you rather be in an environment where everyone's, I mean, go to any of our events, our training events, our conventions, you're going to see some of the most positive people in the world that you've ever met, okay? Because everyone's wanting to help everybody, right? We know that we live in a world of abundance, and the more people that win, then the more we win, okay? So help everyone become successful, and you become successful yourself, rather than being at a job where there's only one opening for a promotion, and you've got to, win, and someone else has to lose. Someone else didn't get that promotion, right? So it's just such a better mindset and environment. Okay, achieving rank, getting to the top. I'm just going to go to the rank of gold executive because, again, that's $5,000 a month income. And if you get to gold, I can tell you, you'll know what you're going to need to do to get to platinum and diamond. You will have done your homework, okay, by that point in time. So let's just talk about getting to gold. But first, let me define what volume is. When someone signs up for the basic package, gets one case of ASEA with the $40 associate kit, 30-point volume gets put into the team commission portion of the plan. The basic plus, which is 2 cases for $280, puts 60. The 410 4-case package puts 120, and the 810 8-case package puts 240. Now, if you're just purchasing product wholesale, okay, for 120 for 1 case, 100 gets put in the plan. Because remember, they're not having to pay fast start bonuses and the getting started kit and the website fees and all that. They don't have to pay that like they did with the enrollment kit. So 100 PV gets put in the plan. As a preferred customer, it's just going to be 50 that gets put in the plan because of that $25 personal customer bonus that the enroller of that personal customer is going to receive each and every month. They have to reduce that. A half case is $65. 50 PV gets put in the plan, in the team commission part of the plan on a half case. The PV required to be active up to the rank of Director 700 is 100 PV. Okay, starting at bronze executive and higher, though, it's 200 PV if you want to get your matching checks. Okay, if you don't have 200, then you'll be paid as a Director 700. Okay, so that's why we encourage everyone, even right out of the gate, just get a case, start getting a case of bottles and maybe 4 tubes of Renew, or a case of bottles and a case of pouches if you have a significant other, and you guys can just split the product. Okay, just start right out of the gate, set yourself up for success, and that way you don't have to remember to add that extra case later if you do get close to qualifying as bronze. Okay. So first rank after becoming an associate is the director, and that is if you are active and personally enroll 1 associate on your left and 1 active associate on your right. So if this is you, personally enroll 1 left and right, and they're both active, meaning they purchased at least 100 PV within the last 30 days. Congratulations, you're now a director. The next rank is Director 300, and simply what that means is you're a director with 300 group volume on the lesser side of your team, okay, in the team commission portion of the plan. By the way, when you hit Director 300, your company is going to send you out a pin and a certificate to recognize you for that achievement. Director 700 is a director with 700 group volume in the pay team. So there you are. You just have more of the same. Instead of 300, you now have 700 total. You'll get a new pin and a certificate recognizing you as a Director 700. Now, the bronze executive, this is really a milestone position, okay, because this is where you start getting those matching checks. And it's simply a director with 2,000 group volume in the pay team and 1 Director 300 down 2 separate legs. So let me explain, and I'll explain what legs are and everything here in just a second as well. Okay, so there you are. Instead of 300 or 700, you got to have 2,000 of group volume in the pay team for a given week. Okay, so it's a much bigger reach and stretch, and you want that to be as well. That way when you're matching, you know that you've got a leader down there that you're matching all the checks up to and including this particular person. Now, legs, let me define what it means. Everyone you personally enroll starts a new leg, if you will. So everybody underneath, everybody underneath that person, again, would be considered to be in that leg. It's just the terminology or nomenclature for that. Okay, everyone you personally enroll and all the people beneath them would be considered to be in that leg. So let's say you signed up this person here, and they did not become a Director 300, Well, let's say they signed up this person here who did become a Director 300. Okay? You could still count that. It doesn't have to be someone you personally enrolled. It could be anywhere down the leg. And as long as you have one other Director 300 in a different leg, then congratulations, you would have met your 2 Director 300 leg requirement to become a bronze. Now, I want to make it clear that even if you had like 100 Director 300s down one leg, if you didn't have another one down a different leg, that wouldn't count. You would only be technically defined as having one Director 300 leg. Okay, so you got, and why is this? This is not just a hoop or loop that the company puts there just to make your life difficult. Okay, no, this is a demonstration of you being able to create leadership multiple times. Wasn't a fluke, and the company can only pay certain levels of depth, so they have to reward the people who have demonstrated leadership skills. And a leader is not just a leader of one. Okay, a leader leads teams, and so by being able to help 2 people create teams, we know that this person is a leader. Did it more than once, okay? They didn't just get lucky, right? Now, Silver Executive is a director with 3,000 group volume in the pay team and then 3 Director 300 legs. So just more of the same. 3,000 in the pay team. You add that 3rd Director 300 leg. Congratulations, you'd now be a Silver. And then, of course, the Gold Executive, which is the heart and soul of the pay plan, is a director with 5,000 group volume in the pay team and 4 Director 300 legs. So there you are, 5,000 in the pay team. You add the 4th Director 300 leg. Congratulations, you are now a Gold Executive. And again, should be around $5,000 a month. Again, I do know a Gold, actually is my personal enroller, who is over $10,000 a month. But again, that's not the norm. So we like to just say, look, $5,000 a month. Most people would be able to transition out of what they're currently doing full-time at a job environment so that they can focus more and drive their check, get the platinum, diamond, and beyond. Okay, so this is where our focus needs to be. All right. Boyd Matheson said that true character is the ability to stay focused on your goals long after the mood in which they were created has passed. So anytime you get a little bit discouraged, you're talking to negative people, okay, they're telling you you're stupid or whatever, and yet their lives are miserable and have nothing. They're doing nothing to change that situation. Okay, just go back and remember the day that you initially signed up in ASEA and how excited you were, the potential you saw. Okay, what has changed? Nothing. Okay, still the same company, still the same product, still the same great results going all around. Nothing has changed. Just rewind, get that enthusiasm back, and go out and make things happen. Okay. Now, events and promotions, as I'm wrapping up here, these are just great targets to shoot for. Okay. ASEA has put together what's called the Peak Performance Program. If you go to ASEAimpact.com and you click on Recognition and select Peak Performance Program, you will get the qualifications for what you need to do to get to next event. Now, I know they haven't posted next year's events yet. Okay, but I'm going to kind of share with you a little bit about what going to entail, and just start working now because we're in that qualification process. They always go back retro. Okay, so even if you qualify for it right now, you'll go to next year's. Okay, so you have the base camp. By the way, the base camp is going on right now as we speak. The West Coast base camp in Seattle, Washington. Okay, so you can elect to go to, now we've had to, because of the levels of attendance, we have to create 2 different ones. So we've got one for Seattle, Washington, and one going on in the Poconos there, I think, in New Jersey. But basically, the base camp is qualify. You either need to be paid at the rank of bronze twice or silver once. Okay, so you bronze twice or silver once. Congratulations, you'd be going to base camp. And again, here is just a picture from last night at the base camp going on in Washington. Look at all these great qualifiers. Again, there's a lot more that selected the East Coast venue, but these are just the ones who qualified and selected. Here's another great picture. This was Karen Riley, it looks like, on stage there, our Vice President of North American Sales. And then here is Global Vice President of Sales and Marketing, Craig Daly, there on stage. Again, this is all just as of last evening, and encourage you to shoot to get to the next one next year. Now, the next event is called ASEA Ascent. That just happened literally a couple weeks ago. That's in Star Valley, Wyoming. And if you hit platinum 3 times or gold 6 times, and you're going to have plenty of time, a whole year to do this, guys, get to this event. And so what will happen is you'll qualify for both the base camp and the Ascent event, okay, if you hit this one within the time qualification period. And you're gonna be blown away. This is just a spectacular event. We actually had, if you want to go to connectionepisodes.com, once again, connectionepisodes.com, you can watch an archive of some of the attendees of this Ascent event and hear them describe how amazing it was. The Envision Conference, that's coming up, and we are still in the qualification period for this. You have until September 19th, so over a month left to reach the rank of Bronze Executive. Okay, just get paid as Bronze one time, and you're eligible and qualified to be able to attend this Envision Conference. We're going to have some great trainings, not only from field leadership, but from industry leadership as well. We've got a great guest speaker lined up, and corporate executives are there. Again, it's a great way to start planning for 2015, setting some goals and getting your whole track going for what you're going to achieve there in 15. And then, of course, this is the pinnacle. This is the Diamond Summit, and this is what you want to burn into your head. Okay, if you are paid as a diamond twice, you are going. If you're paid as a diamond 4 times in the qualification period, rather, of the next year, you're going, as well as you're going to have 2 airfares also taken care of. Okay, so if you get paid twice, you do not get the airfare, but if you get paid as a diamond 4 times, you get the airfare included. This year is going to be in beautiful Guanacaste, Costa Rica, at the JW Marriott there, and it's supposed to be a spectacular property. And again, want to encourage everyone to make a run for it. You know, if you're close or whatever, and even if you fall short, let's get you to next Diamond event next year. The last 4 years have been in Hawaii. We went from the beautiful island of Kauai to the Big Island, the Four Seasons, the Big Island, Hualai, to the Grand Wailea in Maui. Again, just absolutely spectacular 4 or 5 star properties. They really roll the red carpet out for you. So do everything you can to get to the next Diamond Summit event. Now, next year, 2015, will mark the 5th anniversary of ASEA, and it's going to be spectacular. Bringing it home. Our first convention in Salt Lake City, Utah. You'll be able to tour the corporate offices, tour the production facility. I know they had a little bit of a challenge of being sold out with the tour, but that's not accurate. Okay, they are going to accommodate everybody, but the online mechanism was showing like the tours are sold out, but that's not the case. I talked to Aaron Riley. He said no, they apologize. So just keep calling customer service, and they'll get you on the list when they have that ability to build that a tour list. Okay, but register now. Take advantage of the $109 registration fee. There's a couple of different hotels that links to, like the Hilton or the Marriott. I'm going to be at the Marriott, and we're going to have a blast. And stay tuned for some Team Reactive events we're putting together to get us all together to have a great time of fellowship and getting to know each other and learning each other's experiences. Okay, so in closing here, Bob Mowa said, you can't leave footprints in the sands of time if you're sitting on your butt. And who wants to leave butt prints in the sands of time? I want to thank everyone for tuning in this morning. Now, if you do have any questions, feel free to just *6 on your phone, and that will unmute your phone line. You can also click on the little hand raise button if you're so inclined to do so. And also at this time, if you have any product questions, they need to have a question on ASEA as a product, I'd be happy to answer that as well. Again, just do a *6 on your phone, and that will unmute your line, and you'll be able to jump right in. Okay, if there are no questions, going once, going twice, going 3 times, I want to thank everyone for tuning in, taking a little bit of your Saturday to spend time expanding your knowledge base, getting educated out there. While a lot of people are out on the beach and goofing off, you guys are taking the time to learn and to on that. And you typically are the ones that will be walking across the stage, receiving some type of award, promotion incentive. So I look forward to seeing that. Look forward to seeing all of you there at the next weekend and rest of the week. We'll talk to you bright and early on the momentum call, 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon East Coast. Keep an eye out for your emails, and be sure to sign up for our emailing list at teamreactive.com. In the upper right, click on subscribe. Take care, everyone. See you later. Bye-bye. Do you have a question that just came in? Let me stop the